One of the management-oriented curriculum evaluation models is the CIPP evaluation model. One of the founding fathers of the field of evaluation, Daniel L. Stoffel-Beam, Distinguished Professor Emeritus at Western Michigan University, developed the CIPP evaluation model in the 1960s. CIPP being an acronym representing the 4 types of evaluation this model identifies, namely context, input, process, and product. This was one of the first academic approaches to evaluation to gain attention and remains one of the most widely used to this day. The decision of program managers is a pivotal organizer for the evaluation. The evaluator, working closely with administrators, identifies the decisions the administrator must make and then collects sufficient information about the relative advantages and disadvantages of each decision alternative to allow a fair judgment based on specified criteria. The success of the evaluation rests on the quality of teamwork between evaluators and decision makers. This was the decision-oriented evaluation approach structured to help administrators make good decisions. Evaluation is the process of delineating, obtaining, and providing useful information for judging decision alternatives. This evaluation framework is for managers and administrators facing 4 different kinds of educational decisions. Context evaluation involves defining the environment of the curriculum. It includes needs assessment. The input part of the CIPP model involves determining appropriate and available resources to use to attain the objectives. Process evaluation is an ongoing monitoring of the evaluation to detect flaws. This information is used to revise the model. The evaluation stage refers to assessing the product to determine whether to continue the use of the model. Stoffel-Beam elaborates on this definition by pointing out that since evaluation is performed in the service of decision-making, it should emphasize the provision of information useful to those who must make decisions. This approach, developed in the late 1960s, seeks to improve and achieve accountability in educational programming through a learning by doing approach, with the intention of not to prove, but rather improve the program itself. Context evaluation answers the question, what needs to be done? And it serves as needs assessment for planning decisions to assess the overall environmental readiness of the project. The objective of context evaluation is to define institutional context, to identify the target population and assess their needs, to identify opportunities for addressing the needs, to diagnose problems underlying the needs, and to judge whether proposed objectives are sufficiently responsive to the assessed needs. The method is by using system analysis, survey, document review, hearings, interviews, diagnostic tests, and the Delphi technique. For deciding upon the settings to be served, the goals associated with meeting needs or using opportunities, and the objectives associated with solving problems for planning needed changes and to provide a basis for judging outcomes. This is the association with decision making. Input evaluation answers the question, how should it be done? The ingredients of curriculum include goals, instructional strategies, learners, teachers, content, and all materials. The objective is to identify and assess system capabilities, alternative program strategies, procedural designs for implementing the strategies, budgets, and schedules. The method is by inventorying and analyzing available human and material resources, solution strategies, and procedural designs for relevance, feasibility, and economy. And by using such methods, such as literature search, visits to exemplary programs, advocate teams, and pilot trials. The relationship for decision making is for selecting sources of support, solution strategies, and procedural designs, that is for structuring change activities, and to provide a basis for judging implementation. Process evaluation answers the question, is it being done? It refers to ways and means of how curriculum has been implemented. It monitors the project implementation process and assesses the extent to which participants accept and carry out roles. The objective is to identify or predict in-process defects in the procedural designs or its implementation, to provide information for the pre-programmed decisions, and to record and judge procedural events and activities. The method is by monitoring the activity's potential procedural barriers and remaining alert to unanticipated ones by obtaining specified information from programmed decisions, by describing the actual process, and by continually interacting with and observing the activities of the project staff. And it is for implementing and refining the program design and procedure, that is, for effecting process control, and to provide a log of the actual process for later use in interpreting outcomes. Product evaluation answers the question, did the project succeed? It determines if the curriculum accomplished its goals, measure, interpret, judge a project's outcomes by assessing their merit, worth, significance, and probity, as well as to ascertain the extent to which the needs of all participants were met. The objective is to collect descriptions and judgments of outcomes and to relate them to objectives and to context, input, and process information, and to interpret their worth and merit. By defining operationally and measuring outcome criteria, by collecting judgments of outcomes from stakeholders, and by performing both qualitative and quantitative analysis, this is the methodology used. As for the relations to decisions, it is for deciding whether to continue, terminate, modify, or refocus a change activity, and to present a clear record of effects, whether unintended or intended, or whether positive or negative. Delineating refers to focusing of informative requirements needed by decision makers through such operations, specifying, defining, and explicating. Obtaining refers to collection, organization, and analysis of information using such technical procedures as measurement and statistics. Providing refers to the synthesizing of information so that it will be optimally used for purposes of the evaluation. All these three steps, delineating, obtaining, and providing, they all involve information and how it can be best be isolated, gathered, and presented to those people who make educational decisions. In Wharton 1987, these three steps is further broken down to 6 logical steps for designing each type of evaluation. The first is focusing the evaluation. Second is collection of information. The third is organization of information. The fourth is analysis of this information. The fifth is reporting of information. The sixth is the administration of the evaluation. Context, input, and process evaluation therefore provide formative assessment, and product evaluation, on the other hand, provides summative information. Without effective evaluation, service providers cannot make their projects and services better. Shared decision-making is essential because sustained consequential involvement positions them to contribute information and valuable insights and inclines them to study, accept, value, and act on evaluation reports. Thank you.